Hello there, my dear students. Once again, I'm here to discuss to you a lesson in computer system servicing. Our topic for today is all about creating an Ethernet cable. Now, do you know what is an Ethernet cable? Okay. So, if you have internet connection at home, whether you are using a fiber from PLDT or a home Wi-Fi, whether from Smart or Globe, you have a modem. Okay? And at the back of the modem, you have ports wherein you're going to connect a LAN or an Ethernet cable at the port in order for your desktop PC or laptop to have an internet connection. Okay, so Ethernet is very important for you to learn how to make it. Okay, so it says here that an Ethernet cable is a common type of network cable used with wired networks. So this is for desktop that doesn't have any wireless capability. So you need to connect it using an Ethernet cable. Okay, so Ethernet cables connect devices such as personal computers, routers, and switches within a local area network or LAN. So therefore, Ethernet cable is also called a LAN cable. Okay. So this is a graphic image of a local area network. As you can see, computers are connected and they have also the printer disconnected to a switch and even a wireless router so that your internet signal coming from your fiber connection can be converted into an access point wherein your smartphones and other devices that can connect to the internet wirelessly can get a signal. Okay, so local area network. So we need LAN cable or Ethernet cable connected to the switch in order for these computers and even the printer to communicate to each other even without internet signal. Okay, so before we continue, we have to recall the lesson that we have taken up last time, which is about networking devices and cables. Okay, so I want you to work in group and name the images or pictures that will appear. Okay, so send your answers to our group chat through your PDF. So what is this? And what about this one? Do you know what this is? And this one. What are these three here? Give their names, okay? And send it to RGC. So these three here are called three major type of network cables used in communication system. Okay. Let's proceed to the next one. Do you know what this image is? What about this one? Give its name. And this one. And PLDT home fiber, as you can see, and the last one, Wi-Fi. Okay. These things here are called type of network devices. Okay? Send your answer now. Okay. So, in order for us to know how to create an Ethernet cable. First, how are we going to use those networking devices and cables in order to create a network that will connect two or more computers together. Okay? And what type of suitable network cable are we going to use? Remember those three communication cable system? Okay? And remember those images of the network devices? Okay? So, we are going to use that to answer these questions. Okay, so those things are used to create a local area network. So before we continue, I'm going to let you watch a video clip. So in watching this video clip, I want you to list down those important things. So take notes, okay? Okay. For your group activity, okay? So this is a group work. So you're going to contribute to your group GC in answering the following. Okay, so number one, what are the materials needed in creating an Ethernet cable? Number two, how is the arrangement of colors made from left to right in a straight through cable? Number three, how will you know that the Ethernet cable that you've created is working? What are you going to use? And number four, how long are the strips of wires that will be inserted into the RJ45 jack in inches and in centimeters and in millimeters? And number five, what are the scientific reasons why fiber optic cables, Cat-B cables, and Ethernet cables that are hanging on electric poles and streets colored black? Why are they black in color? Okay? So, you're going to present your output. So what are you going to do? Since there are 5 members per group, the group leader will assign who among the members will present the answer for question number 1, another member for question number 2, and so on. Okay? And each member is going to record using cell phone, video cam, or maybe you have your cameras. You're going to record and create a video presenting your answers. Okay? Okay, let us proceed. So here's the video clip on how to create an Ethernet cable. And that Ethernet cable is called straight through.
Hello mga katropa. Ang video nga pala natin kung paano gawin ng LAN cable gamit ang mga tools. Tara, simulan na natin. Una, ito yung mga kailangan natin. Crimping tools. Itong next, LAN tester cable. Around 250 yata to o 180. Sa Shopee guys, makakabili kayo nito. Ito naman yung gagamitin mo, RJ45 pang-patch. And then UTP cable. Yan. Cat 5E o Cat 5.6 pwede naman. Same lang. Okay guys, simulan na natin. Una, ikat mo itong crimping na to. May built-in naman siya eh. Pero pwede naman kutsilyo kung saan komportable. Mag-cut kayo mga 2 inch. Dahan-dahan lang sa pag-cut para hindi tamaan yung cable wire. Yan. Naka-twist siya eh. Ihulay-hulay muna natin. Itong nasa gitna na to, itong transparent na to na cut lang natin to. Yan. Then i-twist natin. Solid brown and white brown. Yan, magkasama yan. And then solid green, white green. Magkasama yan, pero ang itatabi natin sa green, ito kasi yung standard na ginagamit. Next sa green yung yung white blue. Yan. And then next solid blue. Yan. Dapat naka siya, naka-straight. So, next sa blue, green. Green, white, and then solid green, white, orange. Yan, make sure na pantay siya pag ginupit natin. Yan, double check natin. Yan. So, tama naman. Yan, cut na natin. At least mga 1 inch or mga 2 inch yung cut. Yung pagtansya mo, mga estimate to mga 1 inch to eh. Yung cut natin. Dapat pantay siya guys ah. Yan, double check nyo lagi. Yan, dahan-dahan na rin ito ipapasok. Yung RJ45, dapat sagad yung cable doon sa mismo sa dulo ng RJ45 para tatamaan siya kapag nakrimta natin, para lumapat yung tanso. Yan, pasok na natin na maigi. Yan. Kailangan guys double check mo to Tapos yung cover ng UTP cable, dapat pasok siya para doon siya maglalak eh. Ayan. Bawat gilid, tingnan nyo rin kung pumasok. Kailangan dito maingat kayo eh. Pero pag nasanay na kayo, mabilis na lang yung magagawa to. Pero make sure na lagi nyo double check para iwas na rin sa aberya. Ayan. Dalawa yung gamit kong crimping tools eh. Kaya itong gamitin natin. Marami ng karanasan to eh. Ayan. Ayan na, itsura niyan. May ano siya, may gatla. Kailangan lalapat siya. Ayan. Sa inyo yung mga paa niya, yung mga pin. Ilulubog yung mga kulay tanso. Ayan. Press mo lang. Dahan-dahan lang. So ayan guys, double check mo lang lagi yung gilid. Ayan. Dapat sagad siya doon sa dulo eh. Ayan. Ayan guys, matibay na to guys. Yung pag-crimp natin. Or kung wala pang bumitaw. Ah, mali. Sa kabila pala. Pumapasok sa kabila. Yan. Kamali ako doon ah. Yan. Kailangan magra-running light siya ng sabay. Kapag walang tumalon o walang bumakante, pareho, halos pareho siya. Yan, pareho yung pagbaba niya, running light. Minsan na okay, perfect yung
So what can you say about the video? Is it informative? Did you learn something about what is shown on the video? So, in creating an Ethernet cable, okay, it says here Ethernet cabling has been the standard in networking installation for years. It is the fastest way of connecting PC to a peer or to your router or a central switch. What do you mean by peer? Meaning to say, computer to computer. Unlike when you say to a router or switch, it would be from one computer to many computer. Okay, so we have here fabricating an Ethernet cable, crossover or straight through. Okay, what is a straight through Ethernet cable? So, it is used in local area network to connect a PC to a network hub and router. So, straight through is the standard cable used for almost all purposes, okay, in connecting computers. What about the crossover? So, crossover can be used to connect, take note, two network devices directly. So, mean to say, you can only connect two computers together. Unlike for straight through, you can connect as many computers as you want. So that's the difference between straight through and crossover. Okay. Let's take this. Cable fabrication procedures. Okay. So we have here an image of a crossover. As you can see on your left side, 1 and 2 has the color white, orange, and orange. And on the right side, 1 and 2 has the color white, green, and solid green. So, meaning to say, some wires crosses over. While on the image number 2, which is for straight through, as you can see, 1 is white, orange on the left side, and 1 is white, orange on the right side. The same. Looking at this is the first end of the cable, the Ethernet cable, and this is the other end of the Ethernet cable. The same thing with this. So you can see 1 is the same with 1. 2, the same with 2. 4, a straight through. So, it is different with a crossover. Let's take a closer look. So, let's take this image. Crossover. As you can see, 1 crosses and went to 3. 2, which is solid orange, crosses and is connected at the other end to 6. Remember, this is the first end of the cable, Ethernet cable, and this is the other end of the Ethernet cable. So as you can see visually, you can see the wires crosses over, except for the solid blue, which is number 4, and the white blue, which is number 5, they're just straight. The same thing with the white brown and the solid brown, which is 7 and 8, straight. What about the straight through? Everything is straight. Other side of the cable and the other side, straight. No wires crosses over. You can inspect it visually. Okay. So now we're going to take up the guide in making Ethernet cables. Okay, so these are prefabricated cables created in factories. So you're going to ask, we can buy fabricated cables, why do we need to learn? You have to take note that fabricated cables has a certain length. 1 meter, 3 meters, 5 meters, 6 meters, 10, 15, and the maximum is 20. What about if you need 33 meters of Ethernet cable? You cannot buy, so you have to fabricate your own Ethernet cable. Okay, so number 1 is you have to cut into the plastic sheet. Take note, 1 inch from the end of the cut cable. This is the plastic sheet, and these are the wires that will be exposed. So the wires that will be exposed should be 1 inch in length. Okay? Then, number 2, unwind and pair similar colors. So, solid blue and white blue, they are paired. Solid orange and white orange, they are paired, and so on. So, there are only 4 colors. Solid green, solid brown, solid orange, and then solid blue, and their pair is with white stripes. Okay? Number 3 step. Pinch the wires between your fingers and straighten them out. Just what is shown. In the video that you've seen, they uses the crimping tool to straighten the wires. So the colors should be arranged accordingly for a straight through, as you can see. So white orange for number 1 and the solid brown number 8. Number 4. So you have to use wire cutter to cut it. How long? Half inch. So from 1 inch, after straightening them out, you have to cut it half inch. Okay? And you can use the cutter provided by the crimping tool. Okay, so this is 1 inch. After straightening them, you have to cut half inch. Okay, and number 5, push the wires into the connector. It's like this. Be sure that it will be aligned according to the number. So, facing upward, at the bottom is number 1, which is white orange, and on top is number 8, which is white brown. So you just follow. So you slowly push it through the RJ45. Okay. So take a view on top. If all the wires are into the RJ45, okay, there should be no short wire. Everything should be into the slot. Okay, so take note of the sheet. So this is ½ inch, and the sheet should be less than ½ inch. It should also go into the RJ45. Why? Because this will be locked, so that whenever, if someone's pull the cable, it will not lose the connection. Okay. Number 7, you are now going to crimp the cable. Once you are sure that everything is inserted into the RJ45, you're going to crimp it now. Okay. So put the cable into the crimper and slowly cinch it. When you say cinch, you're pressing the handle of the crimping tool. And for number 8, okay, we're talking about straight through. You're going to do the same thing at the end, pot end. Okay, so after doing that, you're going to test it using what they call a LAN tester. So if this side here, the number 1 lights up, the number 1 here should also lights up at the same time. Okay, so 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, and so on. So these are the steps or guide in creating or fabricating an Ethernet or LAN cable. Okay? Okay, so how are we going to apply this in real world? Okay, so let's take this question. Why do you need to practice a task? Why do you need to practice crimping or creating an Ethernet cable or a LAN cable? Okay, just like in basketball. A basketball team, before they enter into a game, competition, they have to practice so that they know the position of their teammates, and even if they're not looking, they know that their teammate is there. The same thing with track and field. You have to practice alone to find out if you are improving with your speed. Okay? Same thing with, for example, in Filipino or English subject. In Filipino, you're going to have your dula-dulaan. In English, you have to make your what you call this, simple skit. Okay? As a member of that dula-dulaan or skit, you have to memorize or practice your part. Your script, you have to memorize it. And you must also know when to come into the what you call part of the script or the dula-dulaan. So it's like practicing the task or your part. So that is for number 1. Applying in real world. Number 2, what is the importance of knowing first the basics before creating or making something? When you say knowing first the basic, knowing the steps, knowing the guide, okay, the proper way in creating or making something. You have to know. You have to know them first. For example, how to cook a certain dish, we have to know the process. So, what comes first? What are you going to put first? And then, what ingredients are you going to put first? It's like that. So, knowing the basic. For example, you're going to cook chop suey. What's the basic thing that you have to know? Of course, the ingredients of a chop suey. So you're going to prepare them first before you start making or cooking them. Okay. Number 3, have you tried creating or making something by yourself or with somebody, with the help of somebody? What was it and how were you able to do it? Were you able to gain something from it? Did you learn something? Okay, for example, here is trying to repair something. Okay. A motorbike, for example, before you learn to repair a motorbike alone, of course, you have to ask the help of someone. Maybe not in person, but maybe you're going to watch videos on YouTube on how to repair a motorbike. Okay? The same thing with cooking. Cooking a Korean dish, for example. Making kimchi, for example. So, all you have to do is type in the search box in YouTube on how to make a kimchi. Then you're going to have there the ingredients and the step-by-step process in creating or in making a kimchi dish. Okay? So, that is the application in real world. That is the reason why we have to learn and practice creating Ethernet cable in order for us, for someday, we're going to need it. For example, somebody will ask you to help them make or create an Ethernet cable for their business, a gaming business, computer gaming shop. So, you can help maybe with an exchange of a fee, for example, or in your home. You want to have your computer in your room or in your bedroom to be connected to your modem, which is in your living room, and your computer, which is a desktop, is not capable of connecting wireless. So what do you need? You need to create your own Ethernet cable. Okay? So that is the application in real world, which is the reason why you need to learn how to create an Ethernet cable. So let's have the summary now. Okay? So, why do we need to prepare first the materials needed before creating an Ethernet cable? Why do we need to prepare first? What? Are you going to create an Ethernet cable without an RJ45 jack? You cannot create, right? Are you going to create an Ethernet cable without a crimping tool? Of course not. You cannot create. So you have to prepare them. The same thing with cooking. You say you're going to cook, for example, you're going to fry a fish or a chicken or an egg, for example. But you don't have a cooking oil. Can you fry an egg or a chicken or a fish? No, of course not. So you have to prepare first everything before you start doing something. Okay? Number 2. Why do you need to learn how to create an Ethernet cable? I already gave you the answer. You're going to need this. Maybe someday you're going to have your business, internet cafe, or a computer gaming shop. You don't need to hire someone to create Ethernet cable for you. You're going to create it yourself in order to save money. Okay? Okay. For your evaluation, a short quiz. So, 1 to 10. Says here, below are the steps in creating Ethernet cable. Arrange them by writing 1 on the first step, 2 on the second, 3 on the third, etc. up to 10 on the last step. Okay? So, write down your answers, take a picture of it, and then send it to me through this. Okay? And now, for your assignment, okay, open your learning activity sheet, quarter 3, week 4. Okay? And answer activity 1 on page 9, activity 2 on page 10, activity 3 on page 10 to 11, activity 4 on page 11, and of course, you have to write your reflection, which is also found on page 11. That's it. Good day, everyone. Have a nice learning.